Well, hello there, and good Sunday, this 29th of December 2013. This is the Weather Ranger National U.S. Briefing, including Philadelphia. Let's take a look here at the conditions over the next week. We have a couple of systems that we're watching in the short-term future, and also a big rain event that's head up the East Coast today and into tonight, and will bring some warm air along with it, at least temporarily anyway, before a long Arctic blast. So what are we looking at? We're looking at wet in the east with two major storms on the horizon. When and where will they occur? And also, will it get warmer following these major storms? Let's have a look. We currently see a big area on the enhanced infrared satellite imagery engulfing much of the east coast of the United States, and the Gulf of Mexico is open for business as much of the moisture and rain is headed up into the northeast, up the east coast and into the northeast, and we'll be here today, much of the day today, and won't be going anywhere until later on this evening. We have something out here in the upper plains and out in the Rockies. This is called a deformation zone, and what this means is that there's a low pressure system here and a low pressure system here, and these could break off one part in the jet stream here and another part into the jet stream here, which will dump additional snow across the northern Great Plains today and into Monday. And we also have another system out here in the Pacific Northwest over British Columbia, which will be entering the North American continent and moving down across the Rocky Mountains. Let's take a look at that active jet stream right here that has been over much of the country, but there's two branches to it. There's this branch right here that is coming over the northwestern part of the United States. There's another jet streak here over southern Canada, which just means the storms enter this region of fast-moving air and they gain energy and strength. And what we're seeing right now is one of those lows is going to enter this system, this jet stream, and then another system to the south is going to enter this system right here. And this is the branch of the jet stream that's responsible for our moisture today and for our rain and for our temporary warm-up. So let's take a look now at the regional United States radar, as we can see a big area of precipitation here over the southeastern United States. This is going to move off into the northeast. If it hasn't already, it should be raining in the Philadelphia, D.C., Baltimore, and also New York City. And here's this disturbance out here over the upper plain states, as this will scoot eastward and bring snow to much of the Twin Cities and Minneapolis, and also Milwaukee and Chicago and even Detroit overnight, as this whole system is going to scoot off to the east here. Over southern Florida, we have the 70s and light showers. The Gulf Coast is socked in with low clouds and rain, and some heavy rain occurring right now over Alabama and Georgia. And this pocket of heavy rain is going to move right up the I-95 corridor today. And we also have nice weather in Southern California. Out in the west coast in Oregon, we have clear skies currently. Out in Seattle, we have in the 40s with cloudy conditions. And also this low here over central Wisconsin, which is going to track east over the course of today. Taking a look at the current radar right now across the northeast, we can see the big area of precipitation heading up into our area, as today will be a rainy day and we won't get out of it until at least through this evening. Checking out the regional northeast model here, let's take it back to early Sunday, and here we go into, say, tomorrow morning, Sunday morning into 9 o'clock in the morning right here, and this is throughout the day, and we can see that it's going to be all rain, and pretty much stops raining, and the clouds become less thick later in the day into tonight, Sunday night, and then this system just exits off into New England and also brings snow to portions of New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine, and also eastern New York State, as this line right here, the red dotted line, is the critical thickness for rain and snow. So that system, as it exits off into the northeast, into New England, will bring snow showers to that area. And behind it, looking out into the future, into Tuesday, into Monday night, After midnight, early in the Tuesday morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, we have just cloudy conditions here, and probably a lot colder as this thickness line has pushed off to the southeast as we get much colder air into the region. This is the high-resolution NAM model showing us our accumulated snowfall through New Year's Eve at 1 a.m. The NAM is outputting a lot of snow here over much of coastal and interior Maine, also into the White Mountains of New Hampshire, and also into the Green Mountains of Vermont here. Some areas here could get up to a foot of heavy wet snow. Also here in between Binghamton and Albany. Nothing really for Philadelphia over this weekend. The wrapping up this weekend, we're not going to see anything. Any accumulation is going to be out here in the mountains in the western Pennsylvania and also up into northern Pennsylvania as well. And a big dusting of snow as this one low pressure system out here in the Twin Cities just moves eastward overnight. So it's going to combine with this system as it's moving up from the south and bring the light snow accumulations here, but heavier up here in northern New England. Let's back out of this snow accumulation picture and we can see some more additional accumulations here in Denver, also up here in Wyoming, up through the Rockies, western Montana. And we also have a swath of snow accumulating from this storm, which is heading eastward as some of the mountains in Tennessee and western Virginia and eastern Tennessee, and even some snow out in the Arkansas here. And this is into New Year's Eve by 1 o'clock in the morning here. Let's take a look at these potential snowstorms that are on the horizon here. The first one, this is the European model, as the GFS is showing all kinds of uncertainty. So we want to ignore that model for right now. We're going to throw that out. And instead, we're going to look at this model right here. This is showing, on this panel over here, this is showing a low pressure system that is just off of Long Island right here. And this is on Friday morning at 7 o'clock a.m. on January 3rd. So this is this coming Friday, and we see this big storm here over New York City, which is telling me that New York City is going to have a snowstorm here. And not much in the way of winds, but it definitely will be just cold enough to snow here over New York City and also Philadelphia. But New York City on Friday the 3rd is going to be the focal point for this storm that's in the buzz right now by the media. So the 3rd of January, this next big storm that's supposed to come is New York City low. And they could be getting walloped. And Philadelphia in the backside of this could be getting some snow, but it looks like the heaviest might be up here in eastern New York State and also southern New England. It looks like they're going to get the brunt of it. And also, the East Coast is not only the one that is under focus for a big snowstorm. We also have out here in the Twin Cities on, let me get the right model here. Okay, there we go. Out here in the Twin Cities, on the 6th of January, on Monday by 7 a.m., there could be a nasty situation out here in the northern plains, including Minnesota, as could be a big snowstorm out here on Monday morning, the January 6th, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. And this could be a big deal for people out in Minnesota and also the northern plains, more like eastern South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, and especially the Twin Cities in Minnesota, even western Wisconsin. And the winds will be whipping with this system out here. It will be nasty. Ground blizzard conditions definitely are possible with this system, as winds at 5,000 feet in the atmosphere right here are going to be anywhere from 30 to 50 knots, or maybe even higher. So we're thinking that some of this will get down to the surface. So a nasty windy situation. Blizzard conditions are 35 miles an hour or greater, and this definitely has the capability to do that. Blowing and drifting snow out here in the Midwest on next Monday, not tomorrow, but next Monday. Taking a look at the ensembles for warming and cooling trends by the Canadian model, or by the GFS rather, excuse me, we can see a big cooling trend. It's going to get cold, it's going to get frigid. The bottom drops out of our thermometer here by Tuesday, by Monday evening, by 7 o'clock p.m. And then Tuesday, we can see the agreement with this blue right here, this pool of extremely cold Arctic air over the eastern coast of the United States. All these ensemble members here are in agreement with that everywhere. So it is going to be frigid Arctic air mass here by New Year's Eve by 7 a.m. So waking up to New Year's Eve, you're going to say, hey, where did all the warm air go? Because it's going to be gone. We're not going to see that anymore. Taking a look at the temperatures through tonight through early Monday, lows down in the 30s here across the Philadelphia, New York region, 37, 35 up here and down here in D.C. Here comes the cold air through tomorrow morning. Negative 30 degrees up here near Crookston, Minnesota, or whatever small town this is up around here. Here comes this this dome of extremely cold Arctic air. Highs tomorrow only reach 11 below up near International Falls up in Minnesota. You can tell here's the contrast, here's the drop-off. Let's take it into Tuesday during the day. Highs around 40 in the East Coast major cities, maybe even as high as 40, 42, 43, but this is gonna drop out here as highs on Wednesday are only going to be 32 in Philly, and then 38. And then here we go into Friday the 3rd. Highs are only going to be 28, 29 in New York City with this snowstorm coming. It'll be cold enough to snow in Philadelphia and New York. And in D.C. it will be borderline. And here we go on Saturday with temperatures in the lower 30s. However, the thing is, this is called MOS, M-O-S, which stands for Model Output Statistics. And with this extremely cold air arriving through New Year's Eve day by 7 a.m., these high temperatures here in the eastern cities are way overdone. It's going to be a lot colder than 32 for the high on Wednesday. And for the high on New Year's Eve, it's saying 40 here. I don't believe that. I think we're going to have to cut those down way, way lower than what they are because the models don't handle these extremely cold situations. So just going to be getting cold. But then after this system moves away and after it heads out to sea on the 3rd, things start to warm up here into the 9th of January and the 8th and 9th of January into the second week of next month, as we can see a lot of red anomalies here, which indicate a warming trend over the east coast of the United States. So as soon as after this system exits on the 3rd, this weekend, this upcoming weekend here, then things start to warm up slowly again and back into the 50s and maybe even as high as 60 here in the East Coast. However, it still remains cold over the northern Great Plains, but the East Coast will definitely warm up while the West will remain. So that's your national U.S. briefing, including the city of Philadelphia. Keep it right here to weatherranger.com. As always, thanks for choosing us for your premier and only weather source. Stay tuned for the latest with the upcoming snowstorms and the potential warm-up following those snowstorms. You're going to have a wet day today. It moves out by later tonight, and then we have to watch this potential East Coast storm that's going to unravel on January 3rd. As it looks like it's currently a big deal for New York City, but also it could be for Philadelphia as well. We'll keep an eye on it. Keep it right here to weatherranger.com. We're going to go and update the regional briefing and also the quick cast and graphics and text. So check those as well and stay on top of the weather. Thanks for choosing weatherranger.com. Have a good one.